Evangeline, so cool to meet you, and congratulations, not only on this film, but on being the first, I can't believe this, the first ever female character to be named in a Marvel title.
I know, in 20 films.
That's nuts, isn't it?
It's kind of crazy. When I first found out, I didn't realize really the stats. I didn't know it was the first in 20 films. I knew it was the first, but I guess I never really put two and two together, and it's a big deal. It feels like it's about damn time.
Yeah, yeah, you're the trailblazer.
Yeah.
So what is it like? I mean, this is something we all dream of when we're kids. We all dream of being a superhero.
Yeah.
You actually get to be one. I know it's make-believe, but you get to be one. What's it like?
Actually, in my case, I dreamed about being a villain. I used to dream about being a Catwoman. Michelle Pfeiffer, Catwoman.
Oh, yeah.
Who didn't dream about being Michelle Pfeiffer, Catwoman? So I did fantasize about having a skin-tight leather suit and the works, and now I have one. And I didn't think it would be as cool as it was. It was just way cooler than I think I was trying to be cool about it, like, oh, whatever, you know. When Paul would come on set in his super suit and he'd be all excited in the first time, I'm like, wow, I really feel cool in this suit. I was like, you're a dork. You feel cool in your... And then, of course, I got my super suit and I'm strutting onto set just feeling like $1 million. Like, I can kick anyone's butt, even though I can't actually kick anyone's butt. It makes you feel like a badass. It makes you feel as cool as, you know...
As you look?
As you want to be.
Yeah. You said that you used to want to be Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman. So when she gets cast as your mum, what's that experience like?
It's a dream. It was like, that was my fantasy pick for Janet Van Dyne.
Really?
It was I said when we first started Ant-Man, the first film back, 4 years ago we started shooting that, and I read in the script about Janet Van Dyne, and I was like, okay, if you ever cast her, can it please, please, please be Michelle Pfeiffer? And nobody remembers that I said that, but I did. And so I'm just going to say that I manifested that, and that is because of me, even though it's not because of me.
I've heard you say, I've seen in interviews where you've said, I became an actress by accident. How does that happen?
It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen.
Can you clear that up?
Only to me. I mean, actually, I have heard other stories, but it's a bit of a long story and it's hard to explain, but the long and short of it is that I was doing film and television auditions as an exercise in self-expression. It was almost like therapy. It was, I had gone out of my way and tried to be a wallflower for about 5 years because prior to that, I had my heart broken so many times by standing out above the crowd or sort of sticking my neck out or trying to overachieve. And so I just really okay, I get it. I just should be normal and average and mediocre. And I really tried to not stand out and not shine brightly and not be, me and just be myself. I was trying to be somebody else. And so when I woke up and realized that I had this option to go out and do some auditions already available to me, and I had said no to it, and I thought, you know what, you should do that. You should just go do that and just be loud and be bright and be bold and be unafraid, and I did that, and I think Lost was like my 5th audition or something like that. I started in January or February of 2004. I started auditioning, and in March of 2004, I was in Hawaii shooting Lost.
Wow, and now you're part of the Avengers universe, because as well as Ant-Man and the Wasp, I know you're not going to tell me anything about Avengers 4.
No, of course.
What is it like walking onto that set and going, I am part of this bigger world?
It's surreal. It's surreal. And I'm not a comic book fan. I'm not a comic book person. I'm not even a superhero person. I didn't like superhero movies until Marvel came along, and yet I felt like a rock star being a part of that group. Who doesn't want to be in that gang? When I was first approached about the potential for this job, initially, I'm embarrassed to admit, I didn't know Marvel films, so I wasn't all that interested. And then my manager convinced me to go and educate myself and watch some Marvel films. And in one weekend, I watched about 6 Marvel films, and I remember the moment, the sort of the moment when I thought, I want to do this. I really want to do this. And it was watching Avengers 1, when the whole gang assembles, and then there's crazy shots where, you've got all these superheroes in one scene together, and I just was like, this is the coolest. I can't believe I might get to do this.
I'm so glad you're doing it and that you're still shining brightly. Thank you so much. I could talk to you forever.
Oh, thank you.